Hi guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. Today we're going to be picking up on the bodice with our project of making Burda 10 2020 number 120 dress. We're nearly at the finishing line now because after the bodice we then move on to the sleeves. I only have half an hour today in the sewing room, so I'm just going to try and make the best that I can out of it, despite the fact that there is very poor low lighting today because it's a lovely rainy day here in the north of England. Okay, let's dive straight into it by grabbing our bodice pattern pieces. Here we have our massive back pattern piece, and it's massive because this is on the fold. It's going to be quite a challenge for me to actually get it to fit into the frame because I don't have a wide angle lens. But we're going to start off by removing the pins, but it's already been marked out, so we don't have to worry about losing that. I like to get an idea of how the pleats will lie. So on the floor, I used some pins to actually fold out the pleats so that I could see how they are supposed to be folded out and what they can look like before I moved over to the ironing board. If you've done it correctly, you should have a straight line over here and a straight line over there as well. Okay, and we're going to do the same for the other side, and I'm actually going to baste using needle and thread these pleats. Might be a better idea to do it on an ironing board. I haven't yet pressed it properly, but this is what it looks like. So we've got the pleats basted, and we've got that. Okay, now I just have to do the same thing over on this side. Okay, so this is a good opportunity to explain how the pleats actually work, because we've already done them on that side and you can easily see. Okay, we have the fold line. So this isn't the fold line, this is the stitching line. So you can see that's the line that you're going to stitch this down to create the pleat. So if you just think of it this way when you're doing yours, from the center back, okay, stitching line, folding line, stitching line, folding line, stitching line, and folding line. Okay, that's the best way to try and remember it. And so you're going to take this, so because this is the fold line, this is the line that we're going to press. Okay, so put your little notches on the ends there to try and make it easier to get it to fold. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So center back here, notched, stitching line, folding line. Okay, so that means that I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it all the way under so that I can press along this fold line here, but I'm only pressing, keeping the iron just on the edge here because I don't want to get rid of this line, because we need this line. This is the line that we're going to baste, and then that will be our stitching line. Okay, so sorry, here we have, get my pressing cloth there, I had to grab my clapper because it had fallen, but here we go. So we've got that, and then just using the edge of the iron, a little bit of steam, and then clapper. You have to be ever so careful so that your erasable marker doesn't get lost. Okay, as you can see, maybe a bit closer there. So that's nicely pressed, and we haven't lost our lines, and we haven't lost our lines on the back here. But you want to make sure that you're just pressing the edge. And as you can see, that's going to be the stitching line that will create that beautiful chevron. Okay, and then just to make things a little bit easier, you may want to use some pins to just pin along this line before you baste it. Well, I'm certainly basting it. If I were using a more stable fabric like a cotton poplin, maybe I wouldn't baste it because it can hold nicely, but because my crepe, my Moroccan crepe here has got a little bit of a drape to it. No, not a little bit, it's got some drape to it. I can't get away without using pins for the more precise type of work, such as putting in the pleats. Okay, and once you've done that, you flip it out and ta-da! Chevron pleat. Doesn't look like much now, but once you baste it down and then you top stitch it. Gosh, the lighting really is very poor, but yeah, we'll try. Okay, so this was the first one that we've done. Okay, so we now have another stitching line over here and a fold line. So we're just going to flip this under and we're going to press this fold line, making sure that we don't let our iron get anywhere near this stitching line because we need that. I got a little bit too loose with the steam and I steamed this off here, the marker, so gotta be careful. Okay, so that's nicely pressed, and so here's my pins. Just like so. And if you've made a mistake and you've pressed the wrong thing, don't worry about it. As long as you've got your notches, you can always go back and put that line back in. So for here, I have to stitching, folding. Okay. There we go. That's all for today, guys. Nice and short and sweet. My 30 minutes in the sewing cave are up. I have got tons of errands to run that I have to get to now. But thank you so much for joining me in the sewing cave as I do this slow sewing process. I'm having so much fun, and I hope that you're finding these posts useful and informative and perhaps even a little bit entertaining. And if you do give the video a big thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, do subscribe. I put out sewing related content every single week. And until I see you next time, guys, take care. Happy sewing. Bye.